One team is surging with shutouts, another is riding a superstar's bat. But are any of these teams truly tested yet? Well, let's break down week 4 of April's top 10 teams and a couple of teams knocking on the door. First of all, our honorable mentions for this week, teams that aren't ready to be ranked yet, but are doing some things. First of all, we have the Atlanta Braves. Yes, they started out 0-7, but like I said, do not count this team out. Don't blink now. Since that start, they're 8-6, and with that veteran core, it's way too early to say that that team is done. There's plenty of games left against the Mets and the Phillies for them to make up that ground quickly. Another honorable mention is the Athletics. I know they're probably never going to actually crack the top 10 this year, so I got to mention them while I have the opportunity. They face the ninth hardest schedule in baseball, and they're only one game below 500. Tyler Soderstrom is absolutely mashing. No one expected this team to even sniff relevance, so kudos to this Athletics team for taking on a difficult situation of playing in Sacramento in front of a new set of fans at a different stadium and coming out and representing well. The NL West is absolutely dominating, and that leads to our next honorable mention, which is the Arizona Diamondbacks. They are still alive and kicking in that brutal NL West. The real test for them is coming over the next few weeks. They're going to face the Braves, the Mets, the Phillies, the Mets again, the Dodgers, and the Giants. Let's see what it looks like in about 3 weeks, and we're going to know what level this team is really at coming out of that. And lastly, we have the Tigers. They have the best ERA in the American League, and Spencer Torkelson is still locked in. They're not just a scrappy team, they are quietly dangerous. All right, now we have your top 10. At number 10, you have the New York Yankees. Aaron Judge leads the majors in RBI, in batting average, in hits. It's crazy. But they've been beating up on the Royals and the Rays, and part of that was even at their own spring training stadium, George Steinbrenner Field in Florida. So we're waiting to see what they're going to look like once they start facing some top contenders here. But they have definitely taken advantage of beating up on teams when they've had the opportunity. Number 9, you have the San Francisco Giants. Yes, they have a winning record, but they have dropped 4 of their last 6 to the Phillies and the Angels. Wilmer Flores has been an offensive weapon, and Logan Webb is in ace mode right now. But consistency for this team is still an issue, not to mention just the pure gauntlet of the schedule that they're going to have to face going through the NL West. Number 8, you have the Cincinnati Reds. You don't win 24-2 by accident. Their pitching staff is legit still among the top 10 in ERA in the majors, and Ellie De La Cruz is catching fire, but they need a lot more offensive help to really make this a sustainable run. But coming off of that game today, I'd be remiss to not put them in the top 10. At number 7, you have the Los Angeles Angels. Mike Trout looks like the MVP version of himself again. And I believe that he has the strength, and there's enough youthful exuberance on this team to potentially carry them to a playoff spot. But without better pitching, they're going to be treading water. Nolan Schanuel is riding the offensive wave. So let's see what pitchers will be stepping up for the Angels in the weeks ahead. Number 6, you have the Chicago Cubs. They are the major league leaders in runs, in RBIs, and hits. But their ERA as a team is north of 4, and they've surrendered the most hits in the majors. So they're winning lots of games by shootouts. However, they have also faced the hardest schedule so far in baseball, with quite a few games against the Dodgers, among other teams. And that matters, and that will potentially help to have prove them tested and worthy of a top ranking here. Number 5, you have the Texas Rangers. They don't walk many batters. Their pitching staff has allowed the least walks in all of Major League Baseball. They just swept a red-hot Angels team, and Tyler Mahle, I think that's how you say it, if not, correct me down in those comments below, has emerged as the league's ERA leader. So before we read to you the top four, comment down below. What do you like? What do you dislike? What do you agree with, disagree with? Post your top 10. Love to compare it against mine. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. In number 4, we have the Seattle Mariners. Cal Raleigh has 8 bombs this year and might be the new face of this team. After sweeping the Rangers, they've taken series from both the Reds and the Blue Jays. This team is looking like they are for real, and I'm really excited to see if this can maybe be a Mariners team that won't collapse down the stretch run. If you think I'm jinxing them, Mariners fans, my apologies, but props due where they are due. Number 3, you have the New York Mets. They are the best pitching team in baseball by ERA, and not just close. They lead Major League Baseball in ERA by a full half a run. Kodai Senga is untouchable this season, looking like he is back to ace form after being out basically all of last year with injury, and his ERA is under 1. Lindor has been waking up with monster home runs, including his first walk-off home run as a Met. Pete Alonso wants his big contract money and is showing out, and Soto hasn't even really shown up yet. Fair warning, though, the Mets have had the easiest strength of schedule in the majors so far this season, and they struggled on the road against the Twins this week. But after a 4-game sweep of the Cardinals, the first time that they have accomplished that feat since 1986, definitely people are starting to think 1986 for this team as well. Number 2, you have the Los Angeles Dodgers. They are winning, and that's what good teams do. They're not currently leading any major statistical categories, either on the offensive or on the pitching side. But they do have a nice soft schedule ahead, and they have an opportunity to pad the record and maybe take over the lead in the National League over the next couple of weeks. We're going to be watching. Obviously, it is my firm belief that the Dodgers will be there among the top of all of Major League Baseball throughout the entire season, but they just haven't quite earned that top spot for me yet. And finally, number 1, repeating as number 1 this week, we have the San Diego Padres. They are dominating on the pitching front with 6 shutouts. They've allowed the least runs in all of baseball. Michael King looks like a bona fide Cy Young candidate, and Fernando Tatis Jr. is doing Fernando Tatis Jr. things with 7 stolen bases to start the season. This looks to be right now the most complete team. Of course, they are going to be very well tested going against teams like the Dodgers, the Giants, and the Diamondbacks. Let me know what you think in the comments below.